Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Echoes of Legacy. I hope you're having a lovely day today. As you can tell, we have some guests with us, as we have a very special crossover episode between Mysteries of the Maw and Echoes of Legacy. As last time, our heroes found Dr. Nikolai in Valerian's secret lab after uncovering his plot to use them. And Dr. Nikolai helped them escape to the only place where he knew he had allies outside of his own immediate family, which was Craig and Bronwyn, who have been happily living in the mountains for 75 years, and they're about to be interrupted quite rudely. As Craig and Craig, Bronwyn, and Nikolai, would you mind introducing yourselves really quick? Who are you? What do you do? Craig.
So is this like, are we having like the moment they meet us?
This is us.
This is you.
Or just describe that. Okay, as people.
As people,
all right.
not characters.
So Craig. As far as
Wait, you, not character.
You, Luke.
Oh, me. Luke. God.
Who are you?
I'm so out of practice. Don't leave me alone.
Who are you?
I'm Luke. That's right. I do things on the internet with Misty Mountain Legends, or a podcast that's fun. It's great. And funnily enough, Steph, who's part of this game, is on the podcast. It's a great time. So, yeah, go check that out. Misty Mountain Legends, wherever you catch your pods. But I also do stuff under _links pretty much everywhere.
Sweet. Sydney.
Hello. My name is Sydney Rubino. You can find me all over the internet at Sydney Rubino. And on TikTok as Sydney of Hightower. I play in TTRPGs, I produce, I act, I model, I do all the things. I live in LA. You do everything when you live here. Yeah, I'm a good human who wears bear ears sometimes. Woo!
Excellent. And CB, round us up.
Hey everybody, my name is Omega Jones, also known as the Critical Bard. I do a lot. Yeah, I do a lot. That's the best way I can put my existence. My pronouns are he and they, and I hope you are having a wonderful day. And if you're not, I'll beat your brain bugs' asses. Like let's go. That's me. Goodbye.
All right. And with that, we're going to begin the session. As Bronwyn and Craig, describe to me what your home looks like.
We get to describe our cottagecore fantasy? Really?
Yes.
I mean, Luke, you live in an actual cabin in the mountains. So
It's these walls, but it's adorned with art that I imagine Craig and Bronwyn have spent time creating. As you know, aside from just doing stuff to live, I imagine they probably spend a lot of time just doing things together, like doing art and stuff like that. So I imagine there's some beautiful paintings on the walls, a lot of really cool projects and other things that just the house, I imagine, is not necessarily disheveled, but there's a lot of life inside this cottage.
yeah, I would concur with that. After living a very hard life, now they live very soft lives. They're very soft now. And I will say, in the winter, Bronwyn chops the wood. So there's a gigantic pile of wood outside. Just a massive, massive pile of wood. Will that come into play later? Who knows?
Yeah.
What time of year is it?
Well, you live up in the mountains, so it's kind of always a little bit
Generally
winter.
chilly.
Cool.
Love a fireplace. Amazing.
Always going.
Yes.
And what are the two of you up to this evening in your home?
I actually would imagine Bronwyn is actually pretty, I wouldn't say stressed in a bad way, but I think instead of, normal evening where they would be, I don't know, cuddling in front of the fire on a couch or something, Bronwyn is pacing throughout the room because she can feel Nico again.
Mm-hmm.
So Bronwyn is kind of like racking her brain trying to, because since it's been 75 years since they've been connected, kind of refiguring out what this pull is and how to use it again to actually communicate instead of just have feelings. So she's pacing and struggling with that internally. Yes.
I think Craig, though this is something I just have to put in here, just so that everyone could get a visual of what Craig looks like. You see someone who looks like they've slept well. Like they live a life that is fulfilling and they have little need. There's no bags under their eyes. They're very clean. They're very clean shaven, and they look happy. Though at this moment, also a little stressed as Bronwyn, you're pacing. Craig just is going back and forth between looking out the window and coming up to you and kind of grabbing your hands.
You see maybe a little bit more of the bestial form is kind of coming out, like the claws are a little bit sharper, her teeth have distended a little bit, her like feet have kind of like started to arch, and she's kind of like, this connection, while it is incredibly good and is relative, it's still a reminder of the fact that, you know, she's still infected. They don't have a cure yet. It's been 75 years.
Craig just grabs your hands and just brings your bestial hands up to his lips and just gently kisses your knuckles, trying to help calm you down. If Nico is alive and free, what does that mean for, I suppose, us? Do you think he's coming here?
It feels like he's getting closer. I don't know. I can't tell. It's still strong, but it doesn't make any sense to me anymore. Something's different. Something's changed. And I can't really describe it. And I don't really understand.
My one concern is that Nico is being forced to find us for some unknown reason. I don't know why we would be sought out.
What do you mean you don't know why?
Well, after all these years, now out of the blue, why would they come for us?
Maybe they finally got out, Craig. They escaped. They were taken by their parents. You know how awful that must have been.
True. I just hope that Nico is coming here of their own volition and not out of being forced by their parents. That is my concern.
Bronwyn's gonna take your face in her hands and say, no matter what state they come to us in, it's our job to help them. I hope it is good and not your fears. But no matter what, we'll handle it the best way we know how. Like we always have.
Gently kisses the palm of your hand. Always. With you, we will manage it, and I think I have a good feeling. I think.
And there's what sounds like a shattering of glass outside.
Good feeling gone. All right. Well.
Wait.
Do you look out the window?
Very, yeah, just like kind of like back up against the wall, very gently poking my head through the curtain.
So you see Dr. Nikolai stepping through a portal, followed by 4 people you do not recognize. And for imagination's sake, for our new players, Peter, Christian, Val, or Peter, Jeane, Val, and Rhea, would you mind describing what your characters look like, please?
I'll go first. You see standing next to the good doctor, about 5'6", 260 pounds, kind of husky, African American looking gentleman. He's got kind of a twisted high top fade like Echo from Arcane or Killmonger from Black Panther.
Or every black character that gets created because they don't know how to do any other hairstyle.
Character creation is hard. He's got a short black beard. He's wearing. Would this be like this is like right after the ball, right? So like, are we still wearing our ball? The ball?
You would have changed. You would have
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
You would have changed. You would have had your adventuring gear.
Okay, cool. So he looks like he's wearing like a mixture of like an engineer's or a mechanic's kind of outfit mixed with like a cowboy's ensemble. It's covered in pockets and compartments with quick access to what look like bullets of different like shades and colors. And on his hip is a holster that holds a pepper box revolver. That's like an alchemist's kind of pepper box. So it's also like mixed with like almost this steampunk aesthetic. And he looks happy for a moment and then utterly cold. And yeah. Me. Next.
I'll go next. Rhea is about 5'7", 5'8", tall-ish for a girl. She's got she chose to keep her dramatic kind of waistcoat from the ball. So she's wearing this red pirate-esque kind of waistcoat situation. Underneath it, there's like this red silk shirt that's unbuttoned to like her sternum. Then she's got a belt tight around her waist, one kind of slinging across her hips, a little lower, and then just black leggings and some cool high boots, and has probably some dried blood in her hair and maybe like one badass splash across your face because we just came from this, and her neck like around her trachea is red and bruising a little bit.
Is she covered in ooze?
Is she covered in ooze, Alec? Please don't make Rhea covered in ooze.
No,
Yes.
I mean, no. You probably got some on like the bottom of your coat, you know.
Yeah,
but-
valid.
Yeah.
No clone ooze over here. It's fine.
Thank God.
Okay.
And then dark red hair that kind of falls past her shoulders a little bit, and that's Rhea.
And I'll go with Peter. Peter's a lot shorter, probably like 5'3"-ish. Short white hair in a bob with bangs, red eyes, and like little bloomers with like tights. Funny little poofy hat. And like a corset and puffy top. Almost kind of jestery, but not like a jester, but reminiscent. And yeah, maybe because that was my dress. Never mind. Anyway, it's gonna be Val.
Yeah, Val, you would foresee like hair that looks like fire. Like it goes from a gradient of red to orange to like a lighter yellow as it goes down. Has oddly looks almost coordinated with Rhea now with the addition of the red coat, as she's got like a sleeveless sort of jacket on with like leggings and high boots. Very much gives like if you took a wizard and mixed it with leather armor, that kind of vibe is kind of where she's sitting. But the thing that you notice the most is that she is absolutely covered in tattoos, like all the way up her neck, down her chest, every bit of arms that are exposed, absolutely covered. So it's that like mix of someone who looks like they maybe were sweet once, very sweet face, but is absolutely covered in ink.
So you see these four figures accompanied by Dr. Nikolai step into your front lawn.
with blood all over them.
Yeah.
All over, at least Rhea. Does anyone else have blood on them?
Val looks like she lost a lot of blood. She's barely getting up.
They all look a little beaten up.
Mm.
They
Okay.
all look a little worse for wear.
Noted.
Craig just turns to you. We have dinner guests.
All I have is soup.
It'll be enough. I'm sure they'll be thankful for. I look out at the window again at them. Probably anything.
I'll start ladling.
We're gonna cut to outside to Nikolai and the four. What are y'all doing? Y'all just walk through a portal. You're now in this kind of wintry mountainscape, surrounded by these tall pine trees. It's not like full on winter, but there's a dusting of snow. And you're in front of this large log cabin with this massive pile of wood out front. And then there's like a big old axe outside, like a big one. That's kind of just in a stump. But you have all arrived at this cabin.
The front door is at least 8 feet tall, by the way.
Love that. Okay. A little warning about the place we go to.
I hate the cold.
Oh, okay. That's different. Okay. Do you know this house? Is it a good house? Bad house? I don't know how teleportation works.
You all notice that he's not looking at the house at the first thing he doesn't look at is the house. You see him start to look at everywhere else, just kind of taking in the world, taking in a space that is not confined. He's kind of like familiarizing himself before like he does suddenly look back at the house, and he almost like shifts his intention immediately. The stained glass type of teleportation that you went through, as it kind of opened, as the last person stepped through, it's almost like time reverses itself and it is immediately closed, as if nothing was ever there. Yes, this is correct. This is correct. 1 second.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Bronwyn, you get we can't really telepathically speak, but you definitely get an intrusion type of vibe, like a sense of like somebody about to be in your space very quickly, as he begins to walk towards the door.
I know I feel you getting closer. There's no way I don't feel you getting closer. I like mid scoop of soup into bowl. She just like sets the bowl down, drops a spoon, and just like goes to the front door. And I imagine it. She like pulls open the front door, and then you're just standing there.
Yep. Greetings. But you are not dead, are you? Hold on. He literally starts to just analyze your entire form as you're just like blue screening right now. Just like, wait. This is Brandwin, correct? This is not a clone, just making sure.
Craig steps out, and you all, physical description, 6'10", white as the snow around, the skin and hair, white pupils, doesn't seem to be too bothered by the cold, steps out and looks right at you, Nico, and just grabs you and holds you, and then after a moment also just grabs Bronwyn and pulls Bronwyn in as well.
What are the sorry, go ahead. I was gonna say, what are the four of you doing while they're having this reunion? What are the four of you doing outside?
Shivering.
Yeah,
shivering.
Peter
Rhea's
definitely didn't walk up with Nikolai. It was like this isn't. I'll let him figure that out.
It's like we're all standing back, and then there's like the awkward wave from behind.
Yeah.
Hi. Hello.
Nikolai doesn't move. He's stiff. He doesn't hug back, actually. He's kind of just standing there. And you almost feel a presence like when magnets are trying to repel. You can feel them trying to like just push apart just a little bit. These are 4 individuals who I believe might need your assistance. And looking at them, I would assume that they might become hypothermic in the next 23 minutes. So if you have any sort of, and he looks at Craig, something that isn't him, to warm them up.
Right.
Also, it is genuinely good to see you both.
It's good to see you too, Nico. Come inside.
Val is gonna lean over to Peter. Did he just offer to clarify that the tall one isn't supposed to warm us up? What are we walking into? This is not what I thought we were.
That could be said about anything.
This entire
Okay.
journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Cool.
we're not like in a basement anymore, so
That's true. That's true.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna like step up and like open myself up, like after you.
Please come inside, each one of you. I
Said nothing but word. Excuse me.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, just Craig makes like just gives Bronwyn a look of like, we're back in it.
Right, right.
As I don't want to assume as they step in, I don't know if they're stepping in just yet. But as the
Jeane
last
elbowed their way in.
as they step in, it's wordless, and I hate that it's wordless, but it's wordless. And he does look at the two of you with a one moment type of look, and he's going to stand in the doorway. And it's not a specific thing through a class, but I would like to attempt to shield this place. Also, my DoorDash is calling me. Continue.
All right, yep, do your thing. So you all come into this cabin and you see, it's a beautiful log cabin, big fireplace, art on the walls. It's very homey. It's very nice, and it's very. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bronwyn and Craig, but it's warm in here.
Yes, I would say that is accurate.
Yeah. But you are all now met inside this cabin.
I'm going to go get warm food, sit down on the couch. We will... Okay, maybe not the ones covered in blood. Don't sit on the couch. Let me grab a blanket for the couch for the blood.
Bronwyn, I've got it.
Okay.
I'll take care of it.
Okay.
Yes. It's all right.
Great, thanks. Okay.
I'm
Plants it.
here.
Hello, Peter. Pleasure to meet you. What are all of your names?
That's Val. And Rhea and Jeane.
Sorry, I'm covered in blood.
It was for a good reason.
Thanks for letting us in your house. I assume it's your house.
It is, yes. It is a pleasure to make all of your acquaintance, and the blood is all right. We are no strangers to it. If you would like to wash up, there is a bit of fresh water that is over there. We have a small bathroom that you may use to clean yourselves. But please, if you would like, please sit down.
And he motions to the couch and offers out blankets to those who want them.
My name is Craig, but you may call me Craig.
Craig?
Yeah.
All right, nickname basis. I'm good with that. That's great. Fantastic.
Rhea is going to go into the bathroom, and she's very uncomfortable in this space because she sees this home that's like a home and only sees how empty her own house was that they were just at, and is even more distraught and confused and lost than she was when she walked through a magic portal that just came out of nowhere from some guy they found in a basement. Like, it's all kind of catching up to her, so she just takes a second while she's in the bathroom and like cleans that out of her hair and off of her face and just like looks at herself in the mirror and is like, what the fuck? And then goes back outside and will sit. Actually, she'll stand at the couch.
Oh, Peter's on the couch. Peter is bundled up, like only head sticking out, sort of bundled.
Peter.
And you know when like you hold the little pillow in your lap? If there's pillows on the couch. I don't want to assume anything about your home.
No, there's pillows.
Yeah.
Would you like
Yeah,
a squishmallow? There's squishmallows also on the couch.
Squishmallows are canon, I guess.
The power of imagination is incredible.
No, we knitted them ourselves.
Okay. Yeah, I grabbed one. I'm holding one of those for sure.
Oh, cute.
And your name was, and I point at Bronwyn, but I don't know her name.
Oh, you'll see Bronwyn over in the kitchen because I would imagine that the living room / fireplace, it's an open concept cabin. So you can see the kitchen from the living room, and she'll call over. Bronwyn, that was LD's favorite. That's I don't remember the name. Do you remember the name, Craig, of the stuffed animal? I don't remember.
What did she call it? She called it something. I think it was like Dr. Fluffington or something silly like that.
Very cute.
It was adorable. That LD is our daughter.
Oh.
She's no longer with us. She is not perished. She's simply gone off and is doing her own thing.
Oh, cool.
I think that gives Nico pause as he just like turns his head ever so slightly as you see him doing some kind of incantation in the doorway. He doesn't say anything, but he definitely just like, excuse me?
Makes eye contact, notes and says, we also have a son as well. We have 2 children.
Oh.
You see him work even harder now.
Can I as Nikolai's doing magic, can I, as someone who's learning,
Yeah, and you're learning the type of magic that
Yeah.
Nikolai uses.
as well.
Yeah, go ahead and why don't you make me a insight and willpower?
And my roll was low for me, but it's a 10.
Is 2-7, so it's a crit, so 14. I don't know if that adds anything, but
Well, CB, I'll let you describe. Like, what are you doing? And Jeane, you will understand it from your teachings with the same man who taught him.
right.
You will see that as he's like holding his hands up in the air, like ever so often you can see like these fractalized like shifts of lines in the air. These lines kind of split into triangles, split into abstract different shapes, and you can see that I'm starting to put a barrier around the house, around the cabin, so no one can immediately get inside. And he's doing it wordlessly. I will also note, I didn't really describe Nico. Nico has tan-ish skin, a little darker tan, but tan-ish nonetheless, biracial. Long pointed ears. Right now, he probably does have his white shirt on, but it's open. He doesn't have his signature pink bow tie. He's wearing this long grayish brown overcoat that has fur lined on the inside of it. Simple pants, nothing special. He has these glasses that are a little slimmer than the ones I have on. They sit like right at the edge of his nose. And they almost are doing the same fractalization as well. More specifically though, every now and then as you look at any skin that is exposed, it's, sorry to creep you out, it's almost as if a worm goes up and then goes back down, but it's very skinny. It is very skinny, almost like a vein, if anything, like something's moving through a vein. And it shows for a second. The thing to note though, that it's not always black. Sometimes it's black, but then sometimes it's blue, sometimes it's yellow, sometimes it's green. It's almost as if something is interacting with something else within him. But it just kind of shows up every now and then, and he's completely normal to it.
I think just to note, as you're doing this wordlessly, Jeane just kind of like walks up and just watches like side by side with you, and he's just like, huh, Fibonacci and fractal makes sense.
I'm unsure who this Fibonacci is, for sure.
It's scientists on my Earth, or my planet, Jesus. It's a mathematical phenomenon. Same with fractals. I just didn't know you mixed them together for protection wards. It's cool.
If that is how you need to explain your own understanding of the arcane, then sure.
Yeah, it helps.
Do I know that he was taught?
You would have known that it was part of the plan.
Okay. Then if you've learned anything, I'm sure you can apply it as well. You might want to learn this one. You will need it.
Yeah, sure.
Potentially,
I'll put on a bucket list of the evil things things I should learn about this world that need to be applied to it. Our survival. Survival. Yeah.
That is the correct word. Yes. And he like does the final pulse, and you see it kind of like almost like a wave of magic. But you see it like through the glass stained effect. It just kind of and however good he did, there's now a barrier up. With that, he will like literally turn like about face type of turn and look down to you. He is about 6. What did I say? He's about 6'4".
Yeah.
3. He kind of looks down and
If you do look at Dwayne at any point, you can see that while he was scared and concerned in the lab, as you're doing this magic, there is nothing but like wonder and curiosity and wanting to learn in his eyes, and it's just very, very youthful, I guess, and it's immaturity.
I think he'll note that. He's pretty insightful. He'll kind of note that and just kind of like scared. He's very analytical. So he literally kind of analyzes you for a moment. But then he'll just say, I do wish we could have met under different circumstances.
Oh, well, we met now, so.
And yet the circumstances have not changed.
Yeah.
He will walk forward.
So we're doing them. Snaps. As he's looking at the I guess finishing equation of the magic, and he's like, and I guess just looking how good it is, like just to be not a judge, but to wonder about it. Because he doesn't know what the strength of magic is. He just knows about it.
Val, what are you getting up to? Well, Peter's on the couch, Rhea's in the bathroom, Jeane is observing. What are you doing?
Is this a 1-floor situation cabin, or is there an upstairs?
I think upstairs is like, yeah, I think there's an upstairs, but that's like the bed. That's where like the bed is.
Yeah.
Like it's like a loft thing, so it's like it's pretty much just room for like a small closet in the bed. Is like.
Where were our children sleeping?
You're right. There would have to be more room. So there's a second floor that's got multiple bedrooms. There we go.
Okay. Val just wants to sit somewhere where she isn't going to get blood on anything and doesn't have to go to the washroom right away because Rehya went there. So she's sitting on the steps, head between her hands, like clearly not here. She is clearly somewhere else. As in her mind, she looks over and sees the slats, the posts that make up the staircase. And she has to glance away for a second because it feels too much like bars. As she watches this ward being woven around the house and tries to take a deep breath.
Yeah, Craig?
This is just a question I have for you, Alec. Would Craig be able to feel like they don't belong? Or that they're not from here?
Oh, you specifically would know. Like you could sense it specifically that these aren't the normal inhabitants of this world that your kind would interact with.
Perfect. With that, Val, you feel a bit of a stare. You feel like you're being stared at, and you are. Specifically, you see Craig looking at you with confusion, and it seems to be eyeing your hair. And if you were like to like kind of digest and like really think about what the face he made, it looks like he's remembering, or your hair reminds him of something, someone.
She like waves in front of her face, like,
Forgive
hello.
me. My apologies.
I know it's weird. I'm not used to it either. It just like woke up one day and ta-da! New world, new hair. Why not?
Yes, of course. It must be strange not being inhabitants of this realm. I, oddly enough, can relate to each of you in a strange way.
How?
You're not from here either? Did you get brought in too?
There's this moment where Craig smiles, looks to the kitchen where Bronwyn is, and smiles a little softer.
I originally got stuck here, though I imagine very different circumstances than you all. Don't believe all of you got trapped here due to some interdimensional being literally cutting off the connections between the celestial plane and every other plane of existence.
Oh, you're a god.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
I guess we got caught up in the aftermath of that.
Yeah.
So
There's a lot at play, but yes, I was a god.
Ugh.
Are you like a good one? Because the last one
He's kind of an
Bad guy.
asshole.
was kind of an
Bad
asshole.
guy.
Did you say the last one? What do you mean
Yeah.
the last one?
We've
There's
met
like
a couple.
like a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Three?
His name was
Two?
Malavar, and he was all like, "Hey, here's some like health magic." And there was this like babe with him, and she was like a god too. It was
I got
like
bad
a lot,
vibes
but
from
we're
her,
gone now.
too. Yeah.
Would Craig know these names?
Craig, you would know Malavar as the god of sin.
Oh, Val.
Bestie.
Oops.
oops. Whoops.
So when you say the name Malavar, there is this flash, and because where there is no people, it's just white. Suddenly there is a snowflake. Very perfect snowflake flashes across each eye, and the air gets colder. This warm cabin gets colder.
Okay. All right. Bronwyn is serving soup. Everyone, if you could come here after you're done doing whatever you're doing. There's warm food for everybody. And Bronwyn's gonna take Craig aside. Hi, honey. I understand. I don't know who that is. Or do I? Would I know who that is? Have we talked about this in our
I
75?
think I would have.
You would have mentioned
75 years. I would have told you everything.
Okay, great. Okay. Maybe we don't make the children concerned as much as they already are, and we break it to them gently that they were dealing with the god of sin.
You're right. Forgive me. Past is a little more difficult to move on from. You're right. Thank you.
No, absolutely. I understand completely. This is a lot. But let's make them feel like they're okay, at least for the time being. And I'm sure Nico will explain more than he already has soon.
I hope so.
As if on cue. No, I think Nico has been kind of surveying, just taking in the inside of this space. Again, a different space. Y'all are wild. Taking in just everything, and eventually kind of comes back over and just kind of like places an arm over the other, just kind of looking around. Well, to be quite honest, I think the place to start is the four of you, considering you barged in. And I don't know what was your intent? I don't understand that. I need to get some details from you.
So I have a few voices in my head, and one of them, the narrator, said he was your brother, and that he
half of the brother.
half of your brother, yes,
Mhm.
half of Valorant, was like, hey, by the way, my brother's in the basement. Do you want to do anything about that? And we were like, yeah, sure, why not? Because then he also told us that Valerian was, destroying planets looking for him, and well, yeah, him, that works. And that he was going to use us to do that. So we were like, we got to get the fuck out of here. And that was really it. That was the whole plan. So
Learned a lot of information really quickly, and we made do with what we had.
oh yeah,
in,
don't we
like,
have
the
someone else with
15.
us?
You have Atlas.
You
I
certainly
forgot.
do, yeah.
That's my bad.
Oh my god, bestie!
There is, that was my bad.
I love that.
dude.
He's
I
just
love
been
that.
kind of chilling in the corner, eating soup already.
As he should.
It's
As he
this
should.
tall Fearbolg.
Yeah.
He's
you
been
know,
through a lot.
He's
he's
with us.
got this kind of like fluffy
Oh my
orange
God.
hair, the kind of like soft like fur, like short fur around him, and he's just kind of like he's in a t-shirt that looks like it's like wasn't made for him because you guys had to give him clothes.
He was naked.
And he's just got pants on that again, like kind of Incredible Hulk style, like they just like are like his thighs are barely contained by these pants.
They are struggling.
As he's just sitting in the corner, just like, oh, hey, how's it going?
Who is this?
I'm Atlas.
Yeah.
How big is Atlas?
Atlas is like easily like 6'6", 6'8".
Cool.
Oh, good.
We pulled him out of a suit of armor
Yeah,
earlier.
Real evil. Real evil.
Yeah.
They say
It was
they say
like red and a it was a dragon in red.
One of the dragons of the
Of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Man, this has been 3 days.
We had to fight it and stuff. And
Well, yeah, and the armor got taken by the wardens, who also are not good guys.
Exalted Core.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The Exalted
Yep,
Core
I was just looking at my notes.
who are also not good guys. So...
Oh yeah, was it
Rhea, do you
Ivar? Ivar put him in there. Is that who it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Ivar.
Yep. Oh, we should
Keep
slow
them in
down, shouldn't
there.
we? We're just kind of saying
As
things.
they're speaking, the minute Val said the name that she said, he has not stopped looking at you. But then it is very clear that he is no longer looking at you. I guess it has to be a ritual. I need to go through her thoughts.
Bessie, no!
I need to immediately see what she has seen.
We just dealt with something like this.
We're gonna hate this girl.
This is a trauma we just got
this.
through.
I'm sorry.
So you,
I can look at her thoughts.
Welcome to Nico.
You can just ask the question.
As long as Nico's chill.
so you want to do a ritual to see if you can see into Val's thoughts, yes?
to almost get a replay of what, because it's not that he doesn't believe. She said too many names, too many specific instances for it not to be true, because there's also not any writing on it.
Right.
So had to have been verbal in some way, shape, or form. He's analytical though. He has to confirm it for himself.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out which. I feel like this would be insight and willpower.
We all just get
Probably.
headaches.
Yeah. Val, can you roll insight and willpower also for me?
Oh, sure.
See what the mental faculties are. Also, Bronwyn, what was your reaction? Also, by the way, to hearing the name?
That name, yeah.
That name.
Ooh. Nico
Names.
would get immediate pain. Just a feeling of loss and anger and battling those two feelings, battling each other at the mention of that name. And she's going to pick up her bowl of soup and move it over to the kitchen and watch from there.
Okay.
Greg follows you.
How much MP is it to do this?
To do a ritual, I would say this is a minor ritual, so it would cost you 20 MP.
Okay.
Yep.
What?
Do we see you just casting a spell in front of us? Like,
I thought it was 40.
for sure.
Because Major is Set's thoughts.
Oh, yeah, it would be 40. It would be 40. Yeah, for sense thoughts.
Is it less for me? There is a reducing the cost of a ritual, so I'm just curious. I don't care. Whatever it needs to be.
Let's do 40 for now.
Yep.
Let's do 40.
Oh crap! I did the wrong thing. That's not what. Oh no! Uh-oh.
You got this. She got it.
No, I literally I need to undo. Undo.
But yes, the
Okay.
four of you, while Nico is
four of
staring
you.
at Val,
Wait.
you notice Bronwyn and Craig just remove themselves to the kitchen.
And I'll say, yes, you don't see him move his hands. His eyes immediately fractalize. No, it's not even immediate. It's like a slow burn until you're just seeing just a kaleidoscope. And a lot more of those tendrils are like popping up.
We keep saying things to people.
Do you
They
think
keep
that's
doing
like the?
different
Do you think
things.
that's like the collective? Is that what that is?
That's magic, definitely.
Right? Because that's what it's called. And yeah, the
Val
Drowned
can't
Collective.
do anything. I have 2 MP left. I used everything I had to get this guy out of the circle that he was
Right.
in.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think I've got like.
Do you need
7 now.
MP to oppose? I don't know the system. I'm just curious.
No, I rolled
no.
a 9 just for flavor.
Oh.
Like she is absolutely fucking tapped
Oh.
on magic because she was the one whose idea it was to release you
Mhm.
from this like circle you were in the basement.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
That was a 19 for me, too.
So,
I got a 9.
Sorry.
so as your eyes fractal over and you're digging for Valorant, right? You're digging
Yeah.
for your
And I
brother.
want to say, just full disclosure, because considering all this stuff, he's not looking at anything else. He's looking directly for what he needs. He heard Valorant, so he's like, where and what? So he's just focusing on all that.
So what's weird is as you dig into Val's mind, you hear your brother's voice, but the perspective you're getting is from Val's perspective. Like you see Val turning and looking and talking to someone, but there's nothing there. But you hear your brother talking back. And I guess if you just have free reign to just dig around and learn everything that she knows about Valorant, you would learn that your brother has been split into 2 parts. There's the narrator and there's the patron. The narrator embodies all of the good of your older brother, while the patron embodies all of the evil. And your brother is specifically the patron half is playing your father.
The narrators who spoke to Val, though.
Yes, narrator seems like he made himself known as he's trying to help them so that your dad doesn't get his way with them. You know, doesn't get to like manipulate.
And
them.
patron is trying to sideswipe Dad.
It seems like the patron has set your dad up. In the sense that like your dad thinks your brother was taken, but he was never taken.
Okay. This is a lot.
And Val, you get a headache.
Brandon, you get a headache.
Good night ruined.
Um, everything. He's not catatonic, but he's definitely just like. You could tell that he's trying to process a lot of information. Excuse me. A lot of information. That was gross. A lot of information all at once. And you feel that intrusion come out of you, Val. I don't know how long the headache lasts, but he just. I need you all to explain everything.
Why do we need to explain when you can just root around in my head and find out what you want to know? It's exactly what your father did.
I'm going to allow you to have that one. What I just saw within you undermines everything. So again, I need to know exactly what you know. And I'm asking for consent this time. I'm not your immediate enemy. Though immediate is a factor. I need to know.
I'm feeling the heat literally exhuming from Val right now. I think Jeane moves over to them and like places a hand on their shoulder. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be okay.
You can take this one.
It's fine, I got you. All right. Where do we start? And kind of like steps ahead of them, almost like a blocking, but like protecting. Okay, where do we start? So, a couple days ago, we are at a party, having a fun time. Suddenly, we blink, and Rhea's whole house is, well, in your father's phony laboratory? We'll say phony. He introduces himself. He's all chipper and dapper and dandy. You know, like how evil nobles are. And we fall for it because we have no idea where we are. We have no idea what's happening. We train a little fun. Get pulled into a spy mission, which is pretty interesting. Apparently there was a spy up in the city. What's the city name again?
Hearth.
Hearth, up city of Hearth. Apparently some spies up in Hearth. We handle it as best we can. Get back. You see Atlas over there. We save Atlas. Atlas informs us of how evil your father is and the person who trapped them in there. We go back to your father's manor. Val talks to your brother, or half of your brother. He leads us to you. We save you. You bring us here. Also, you're not letting anyone have anything. You earn that.
So my brother showed up or found a way to contact you.
It was that way.
Yeah, it was actually really weird. Val is not looking at all at the rest of the group. She's like staring at a wall. It was the middle of the night, and like I Well, I had some weird stuff with my shadow go on, which is a different story. But in the middle of the night, I woke up and he was just there, literally narrating everything that was happening. It was incredibly fucking annoying. I did not like him at first. But then he kept coming back whenever I would call out to him. And seemed like he didn't want to answer, but totally did, because then he gave us all the information. But right before we went to find you, he said he had to go away. He had to hide. Because his other half, the patron, was gonna come show up, apparently. But the narrator said that we're the bait. The whole reason we're here is we're the bait for something to come to get rid of this world. Or something like that. We're not from here. We really obviously don't know what's going on. We're just pawns who happened to get a glimpse at the board and got out of there when we thought we could.
Do I believe, based on how my father has been acting, the things that he's been doing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, does he know that he's being set up? Does he have any inkling of the truth?
From what you've been told about your dad and what you've been like, and the way you've grown up with your father, you know what I mean? Like, his decisions over the past however long, sometimes like even you and your mom question them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, it's too rash for him, or this, like, why is he like going this far? This doesn't make sense. Like, there's always been something about the way your dad behaves that is just slightly askew, that you just, haven't touched because of whatever reason. But, your dad, going planet to planet, wiping out planets, looking for this foe that he's defeated, it just, something about it just seems off. But he and your mother believe it so deeply, but you being removed from that, like, always just felt this weird, something's off with my dad, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no, that's apparent. I'm more so thinking about, do I have any inkling that my father knows that my brother is split in two, or specifically that a part of my brother is plotting against him?
Until this moment, until this past 15 minutes, you didn't even know your brother was around.
Well, yes, 1000%. And I guess I'm asking through that. I've never gotten a hint from my father that he knew my brother was around, or is it he works in such a mysterious way that I would never latch on to him potentially knowing?
Your father doesn't know.
That's what I need to know.
Yeah.
That's what I need to know. Apologies, I'm still coming to. I've been literally in a sigil for the past almost a century. If what you are saying is true, and I am inclined to believe it as I have seen it, I now need to figure out who the patron is, why have they split? Why is he against my father when my father has been trying to find him? There are many variables I don't have the answers to now.
That's very important, Nico. Bronwyn emerges from the kitchen again.
Hey.
Oh, hi. Y'all interrupted soup night. We figure we might as well give you some space. That's very important, Nico. But I think we need to get these kids home. They don't belong here. And if your father is using them, they are not safe, no matter where they go. I wouldn't be surprised if it's only a matter of time before he figures out where you've run off to.
Doesn't already know. If there's not people already on their way here now.
I will be blunt with the two of you. I know my father well, and for me to be gone, there's no way in the 9 hells he is not potentially on his way himself. But I intentionally did not bring them here for me to figure out the next step. I brought them here to give them their best choice, their best chance, I should say. I was willingly with my father, if that was not clear. We needed to do everything we needed to do to figure out where my brother was. But this changes everything.
Okay, so how much, I'm gonna ask this for clarification. How much of the pulling us here and taking our memories to clone us did you know about?
Oh, I had no idea about that. Again, I've been stuck in a sigil. Or I guess I knew, but I couldn't do anything about it because, again, stuck in a sigil.
Because
not much, if I'm being quite honest, though.
Because Gamemaster reminded, like, he had the clone tubes were in the same room as the sigil, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was this very large lab, and you would know of your father's at least plan to bring them here.
Yeah.
You know, like the equation was on the board.
Yeah.
So, but as far as what he intended to do with their memories, that I don't think he ever told you.
That's what he didn't know. Definitely, like, he knows, but he doesn't know. Like, yeah, you're part of one of many plans that he has seen across time. Sorry that you aren't as special. But he did not say that out loud. That was me just joking.
Oh, yeah.
That's not. He could have said, but it doesn't have. Yes, I was aware that you were a potential pathway, or I guess individuals that ended up being you were the potential pathway. Yes.
Pull us here, so there's got to be a way to pull us back.
Why does it matter if we go back? If he can find us wherever we go, if he's destroying worlds, who says he won't come for ours next? Respectfully.
Here, I thought I was the one with the scary world thoughts. Okay. Yeah.
Lots of scary world thoughts lately.
Yep.
The truth of the matter, based on what I just found out, is that my father, his work for the past millennia, however, he's old,
yeah,
however long, for
at
the
least
past, a long time, has officially been for naught. I need that point to be as clear as it can be. His entire purpose, our entire purpose, was to find our brother, their son. If you are telling me that my brother has been accessible this entire time, split into 2 separate entities, one apparently a storyteller and the other the epitome of evil, that changes everything. And to be quite honest, I don't know how my parents will handle that. So in a sense, you are lucky that you broke me out. Your atoms might have been obliterated otherwise. Apologies, Craig and Branwen. I did not think this would be as convoluted as it's become.
Did you slowly just eat soup?
Mom and dad in the back.
Man, these kids these days, it's coming from other worlds.
We're just trying to enjoy soup night. We only get soup once a week.
Once a week.
Uh,
You should see Luke and I's text thread. You guys are having these very serious moments, and we're just going off on the side about soup night. No, like,
Good. Fucking bang.
most intense soup night we've had in a while.
Yeah.
Nico, you are like family to us. We're literally connected. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you brought these individuals with you. I suppose. How can we help?
I'm going to need to talk to my brother, at the very least, but I don't know how that can happen at this very second. I need to figure out a truth before my father acts.
I might be able to find that out.
Godman, right?
I have a
Godman.
godman that I talk to. And
Which
he answers questions for me. So if we need to find out if something's true or false, I can go to Godman, say, Godman, true or false, this question that you have, and Godman can answer.
Does Godman have a name besides Godman?
It's just, well, in my thing, I take out my phone and I pull up, it's our stat sheets. So, the note.
you see this almost like overlay over their phone that shows their skills, their hit points, their MP.
What is...
So we have this list, and it has all of it says like class and MP and stuff. And under one of mine, it says, when I dismiss my thing, I get to ask the GM, Godman, a question.
Oh.
And Godman has to answer truthfully. So I can like find out the answer if you really need it.
I think I've heard of this mysterious Godman before.
I mean, what else would the letter stand for,
Makes sense. Just tracks now. Really, Alec?
What?
I picked the power.
Jesus.
Craig.
Oh, go ahead, please.
Craig suddenly whips around, sits down on the ottoman, like the footstool by the couch. Since you're like all bundled up right there, he sits down. So he's like more your level, still very tall. Basically, like is your standing height sitting down, and just looks you dead in the eye.
Are you telling me that you can communicate directly with a god right now?
From what I get, yeah.
And this is a god that is not on this plane of existence, but is somewhere else entirely, a different plane of existence.
I think so, yeah. Because there's no gods here. Wait, there's gods on Earth, but they're all like gone now. I'm still figuring it all out. But yeah, I don't think he's. Yeah, I don't think he's from here. We're also not from here, so
Well, that much is very obvious. Yes. No. Allow me to refresh. I was previously a god that
like of ice or snow.
Of winter.
Winter.
The season. There's many things going on that I'm concerned about, that you can communicate with a god, that you have Autumn's hair.
And I point to Val.
Like fall, like the season, or?
Yes.
Okay. No, sorry, I was just catching up.
There's a lot of confusing things. I was cut off. There was no way. I spent hundreds and hundreds of years trying to get back to the celestial plane, and here you are, children, showing signs of deity and communicating with gods directly.
I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. It's not your
Okay.
fault. You apologize a lot, don't you?
I probably like the average amount, I'd assume.
You needn't do it as much.
Oh, okay.
Either way, you can actively communicate with this good man individual.
Well, I'm gonna have to sleep because I'm out of MP, and I have to use the MP to cast it, and I only get it back when I sleep. So I have to sleep, and I can get it to you tomorrow, unless we're under a deadline.
Well, that's a good question. Are you under a deadline?
Right now, I don't think there are precautions we've put into place. And Nico, I'm sure with the precautions you have graciously given us as well, we have time, I believe, for you all to rest. Enjoy the soup. Bronwyn worked very hard.
It's really good.
Helped a little. I do what I can.
Atlas is eating it up. I'm telling you, right? He hasn't said a word.
Atlas hasn't said a goddamn thing. Atlas is like, you see, like he's on bowl 3. Like
Atlas
he's just going it down.
that soup.
He goes,
Side.
you know, if anything happens, I'll of course help.
Speaking of Atlas, correct?
Yeah.
Would you like some proper clothes? I believe
That would be great. I swear, if I sit wrong, I'm gonna bust right out of those. All of these, y'all gonna see something you don't want to see. So I would partake in some clothes that fit.
Wonderful. Please come with me. I'll allow you to take your pick. Something I have should fit you a bit better.
Excellent. He like downs the rest of his soup, wipes it on his fur, and then walks. Follow.
I'll just lead him upstairs, and you just hear shuffling as like open drawers and stuff.
I can also, if you're going to spend the night, I can prepare the children's rooms for at least 2 of you to share a bed if you're comfortable. I don't believe we have any. I have blankets for the couch and whatnot. Split up however you'd like to, but I'll start preparing for the night.
Okay. And then I think at this moment, maybe the 4 of you have kind of like a moment alone while I don't know, Dr. Nikolai, where you get off to, while the other 2 are kind of helping out getting the house ready. But I think these 4 might have a moment, to themselves. It's just the 4 of you. You hear the shuffling of things upstairs and kind of the blow of the wind and the crackle of the fire, but it's just the 4 of you now, with a bit of this kind of heavy tension hanging in the air. What do you do?
Rhea, are you all right? Val, you guys, Jeane, how you guys feeling?
Exhausted?
Yeah.
How about you? How you holding up?
Me?
Everybody, but
Oh.
hey, don't. We can take turns. We can raise hands. We can throw away like a piece of paper or a ball.
I think we should sleep in shifts.
I don't disagree.
I don't either. But...
Val, you can sleep through the night.
No, it's okay. I'll be fine. I don't think we should split up.
I agree.
I also agree.
You guys want to stay in the same room?
Sleep.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll sleep on the floor. I
Yeah,
don't-
whatever.
I mean, don't take this as an insult to you. You look like absolute shit. So might need a bed. I'm not gonna you're not gonna sleep on the floor. Come on now. You worked your ass off today.
True.
Yeah.
That deserves a reward.
Do we
trying to
trust
do
these
something.
guys?
No, not at all.
Yeah, trust is weird. We do have the last person we trusted in this world kind of fucked us over. So.
And this is this guy's kid. Come on.
Yeah. But sins of the father are the sins of the son.
He just dug through Val's mind.
Yeah, but he's not trying to destroy worlds. So.
Well, he said it was their thing, not his parents' thing.
There.
He said we.
Yeah.
Good point. How are you? Are you okay? He's looking over the bow.
No, I'm not. But there's no other way to be. So
That's unfortunate but true, I suppose. So.
I shouldn't have expected that a fantasy world would be less shitty than the real one, but
They have so many rules that are different but the same. Powerful love to do what they want, say what they want, and think they can get away with it without a little spit back. That's just the nature of things, unfortunately.
I'm starting to wonder if we're like double pawns. Like if, like Valerian summoned us for one thing, but I don't know. It feels way too perfect that the narrator reaches out, gets us to do something for him. What if the narrator and the patron are actually working together? Because they said they're telling a story, right?
That's true.
And that, well, at least from the narrator's perspective, we are the main characters. We're being followed.
Yeah. I mean,
I
if
don't
they
know.
like know everything, like what if it's not his brother? I don't know. Maybe
I'm more thinking like maybe this is a big fuck you to dad,
Mm.
and we're the tools that are being used to do it.
Till we know completely. And unfortunately, again, we gotta kind of go with the flow with the story. As soon as we can get a little ahead, we take advantage. I don't know
How?
I don't know. I don't know, but I'm sure we can figure it out. We got 4 brains here. 4
Yeah,
very, very cool brains.
we don't know anything.
Then we learn. Learn as much as we can. I mean, we seem to know more than these 3. All right. At least in some aspect.
Yeah.
Is there anything we didn't tell them?
I don't think they really know what we can do.
I think you're right.
I mean, they saw these things and were like, "What the fuck?" So we're playing against rules that aren't theirs.
Yeah.
And like you again, and looks over to Peter. You can talk to a god, an entity that we're calling God Man, and they gotta tell you the truth, and the truth has led us here, I guess. So
I don't always have to ask the question that Nikolai wants to ask. I can ask a different question if we feel like. we need to.
Well, if we're being used, why don't we use these people? Well, tit for tat.
Yeah.
They again seem to know a path to some information, again, that we don't know, right?
Yeah.
I want to know. I hate not knowing. It's like an itch.
Rhea, you're thinking really hard over there.
Rhea is leaned up against the wall, and I forgot to mention she's got 2 cool black horns coming out of her little head.
Forgot about the horns.
Yep.
I did too for 2 seconds.
Drank the cactus juice.
Yeah.
That juice.
Drink that juice. And she's leaning up against the wall and is just tapping the back of her horns against the wall. I'm not very good at the talking or the thinking part of all this. I want to kill Valerian. And I want to all I know how to do here is hurt, and I don't know how that helps. So I am going to leave the thinking up to those of you who do good at thinking. So let's go back to tapping our horns.
I can't really think of anything besides the fact that I don't want to be followed or hunted. I want to go home. We can't quit, can we? We can't just leave and walk away because we're gonna be found,
Right.
no matter where we go.
Can you imagine if they showed up in our world?
I'd love to see Campus get fucked up.
I mean, it'd be kind of nice to have my diploma first, if I'm
Sorry.
quite honest.
I guess
Right.
technically it would be an emergency, so technically we would get our diplomas immediately because it's a school emergency.
Cool.
I'm not
I'm a-
seeing a downside.
I'm a sophomore, so
I mean, I guess you go up 2 grades and then get your
Right.
yeah.
But then again, the school would be destroyed, so they wouldn't really have records of our education. So it's fine. Ugh.
Oh,
I think it would be a lot more than our school that would get destroyed, though.
yeah.
We don't have anything to combat this back home.
Oh. Well, I've been shooting this gun. It's done pretty well. Got tons of those.
Yeah, but I don't know. Val pulls up her phone and scrolls down. I can make barriers around people that improve how strong they are just with the force of my own brain. Or maybe it's my spirit. I don't know. I don't really get how this works like you do.
Well, I mean, everything's got a resource. Everything's got a limit. Everything's got ammo.
Yeah.
It'd be bad. So maybe we don't want that to happen. But at the same time, if it gets to that means we get to go home. And that means we figured out a way home. So we alter that nightmare to a dream. And hey, busting skulls is a great aspect of any plan.
Yeah, without you, Rhea, Atlas would have been stuck in that dragon forever because gods know I couldn't hit that armor to save my life. So, literally, you saved my life.
Sometimes the plan is to just hit it, and that is a good plan. Hit it as hard as you can. Solid plan. I mean, it's literally how bombs are made, but that's besides the point. Ugh.
Ray's just gonna go to the kitchen. Did everybody get enough soup?
Yeah, and it's really good.
This is really good. This is some solid. I get why this is a date. This is solid.
Yeah.
I'll
It smells really good.
So I think with that, with like the, you all kind of laughing about the soup and enjoying the soup, eventually Bronwyn, shows you all to the bedroom that you'll be staying in, and you all kind of settle down for the night. Are you going to sleep in shifts?
Yeah.
Okay. Who is watching first? And then I'll get to our 3 guests, what they're doing.
I can take first watch.
Okay.
Take second.
Okay.
Third.
Okay, cool. And then the 3 of you, so they have gone off to bed. The 4 have gone to rest. What are the yeah.
I was saying Atlas. Did Atlas come with us or this?
Atlas kind of like sees the size of the room, sees the 4 of y'all, and he's like, I think I'll sleep on the couch. Yeah. Y'all have a. I think he Craig. What kind of outfit did you dress Atlas in?
Oh yes.
Dress up for your bulg.
Dress for book. He's got like this nice. It's very simple sort of work clothes. Definitely something that is like this is what Craig wears to go out and hunt or gather, do what he's got to do out here. So it's clean, but it definitely is like it's worn for sure. But it's like basic sort of just leather trousers and just a very basic shirt that kind of buttons up nice with a vest over top.
Yeah, he bids you all good night, and then he joins the 3 of you downstairs. So what are the 3 of you getting up to down here while the 4 have gone to bed?
After Nikolai stepped outside and just reiterated some things, reformed some things, reinforced some others. Probably would have found Bronwyn and Craig is upstairs. Who Luke? I don't know. While Craig's upstairs, and would have helped clean up and do all that stuff. You can tell that she would be able to tell that he needs a distraction until later. So he would help clean up and other stuff. And I think for a moment, at least for him, he's like quiet, just kind of like doing that thing about like who speaks first. But eventually just. So yes, feels like we're back in the mall.
Less tentacles this time. So, when are you going to go back?
That is something I'm pondering. I don't act without facts. I don't act without knowing. And there's too much that is unknown at this point. That was unexpected.
Do you plan on helping these kids, Nico?
I'll be honest with you. At first I wasn't. Or at least I was giving them a chance. Because we all deserve a chance. We all deserve to try. I was not going to outright attack them. That makes no sense. Especially knowing what my father knew. But at the end of the day, the idea that they had, or them releasing me, protecting me, allowing me to escape, however, their narrative needs to make sense to them. If he had saw what they did, they would not be alive right now. I gave them their best chance, which is you two. But with this new information, I am left with a conundrum. Because I wholeheartedly had the same mission my family did. And I do. But that mission has no sense to it now. My father, my parents, the fallen angel and the wolf, they destroyed entire civilizations. The drowned king exists because they destroyed entire civilizations, all in the name of finding whatever they could to get my brother back. All this even before me and my sister were born. And that mission never stopped. And we knew this. It's why I went to the mall. But now I am finding out that time that can't even be equated to a number has been lost for nothing. I'm finding out that my brother, in whatever way, exists and could have reached out, could have come home. Whether it be the narrator or the patron. So now I need to figure out, 1, why that hasn't happened. 2, what my brother has against my father, my family, what his goal is. And more importantly, 3, I need to figure this out before Valerian knows. Because I guarantee you, if he finds out what I just found out, I am the calm one in my family. He has no reason to keep Novum. So yes, this is a conundrum.
Nico, I quite literally owe you my entire life. All this that is here I owe because of you and Bronwyn. You are undoubtedly one of the smartest individuals, most intelligent individuals I have ever met in my entire life as a god. And yet, you are blinded by facts. You let your father make you so analytical that if it cannot be explained so thoroughly to the point that you know every detail, then it can't possibly be true. And things that would confuse you, that don't seem logical, that throw you for a loop. You must know before you act. These 4 children that you've brought to our door, to our home, who barely sleep above us, they are unique. I can feel that. There's something altogether special about them. They are more than likely your greatest hope. Our hope in stopping your father from tearing Novum apart. And no, I don't know that for a fact. That is something I feel within me, an instinct. It's a little thing called trust and faith. I put my trust and faith in you many times. And even when you broke that so horribly, to the extent that now you and Bronwyn are both suffering from it, I still returned to trust your judgment. Will you help these 4 individuals? Because I know, and I look to Bronwyn, we will. As you know, we will. And with that being the case, Bronwyn, I believe it is time that I go and prepare some defenses. I have a hunch that tomorrow will bring a lot of excitement to our quaint little home.
It's been a while.
It has. I won't lie, I'm a little excited. And I just give you a kiss and throw on a jacket and walk outside. And as I walk out the door, I just kind of turn my head. I ask you at least consider what I have said, Miko. I know you well enough that my words will not make your decisions. I ask you just consider them. Think with your heart, and not with that large brain of yours. And Craig leaves.
Okay.
He's like not been doing like the looking down thing, which almost signifies like submissiveness. It's not that. He's just been contemplating. If anything, he's looking within. As Craig leaves, eyes immediately flick up to Bronwyn. One moment. He's like, looks around, sees like a vase, and like grabs it. Does this have sentiment?
Break the vase.
It just immediately like gets disintegrated in his hand. Like they just webs of like power, just like shoo, boom.
It was from the pottery class that you took or something.
It was the first pot we ever made. We did the whole like what was the movie Ghost thing?
Yeah.
You know, it was like that.
You understand the predicament I am in, yes?
Yes, I understand. But he's right, you know. Too much
He's
time.
right, you know. He's a god. He doesn't count.
Oh,
Can't talk about faith when you're the literal person who creates it.
you spent too much time in that lab.
I analyze. And yes, I analyze to the umpteenth of its potential. I analyze because I cannot make a decision I don't abide by. And the way I abide by it is by knowing it. And yes, that does mean knowing it with all of its potential pathways, with its faults, whether it's good or it's bad. I know it. I knew what my father was doing. I knew what my mother was doing. I knew what I was assisting with. It was for a greater purpose. I want to help these children. They don't deserve this. They aren't. They don't need to be the solution. But that's exactly the point. They no longer are. Which is why I have to know what my brother is doing. Or brothers. I have to know before my father refuses to know. And he just acts.
Nico. The problem has changed. They might not be the solution to the old problem. But this new one, they could be the solution for that. Why do you think your brother felt comfortable talking to them?
Why does she share a name with my brother?
I guess we're going to have to find out. But consider this. Your brother stayed away for so long. There was a reason for that. Maybe you should consider if all the work that you've been doing was a part of the problem and not the solution.
Then for now, I will do what I can to protect them. That is the extent of what I can do until we know more. I can't choose. And I know how contradictory this may sound, but I can't choose for versus my family. I can't. Not until I have a reason. Well, I have a reason. I just woke up. I just got out. I
With permission,
Right. Mm-hmm.
Bronwyn's going to hold your hand. You deserve to rest.
Sure, yes, I guess. All right, well, at the very least, the place has been warded as much as I could at this moment. Doesn't mean it's unbreakable, but if anything, they would have traced the portal itself, not the house. So you get some rest as well, because I have to agree with Rehya. I do believe something is going to come tomorrow. The question is what?
We're just going to have to see.
That we are.
So
Just going to pat her hand, like a thank you type of thing, and honestly, just like find a sofa or even just a chair and just sit. I don't think he's sat in 75 years. So, yes.
So, as the two of you find your rest while Craig is outside doing their thing to come in, I'm going to cut back upstairs. So the first watch goes without incident. Nothing happens. You hear, yes, you're good. You can go to sleep. But Rhea, when you fall asleep,
I don't like that.
You have the strangest dream.
Hmm.
You imagine yourself walking up a mountain pass. You can see that you're walking up a mountain pass. You don't recognize the clothes that you're wearing or the people that you're with, which there are a lot of people that you're with, that are marching up this mountain with you. That's that. And then we shift to the last watch of the night, as the rest of the watches go without incident. Val.
Val is sitting up in bed, like against the side of the bed while someone else sleeps, and thinks back to the first time she saw the narrator, which was in a very similar situation. Hey, I'm guessing you can hear me, even if you said you had to, like, duck out for a little while. Your family's real fucked up. Yeah. And I have a fucked up family, so that means a lot. Yeah, if you could, like, get back to me as soon as you can, that would be really, really nice. Because I'm starting to get a little freaked out, to be honest. Like, Valora, like, come on. Like, what the fuck? This is weird. Okay. Yeah, when you get my message, call me back.
I don't really know what calling means, and he's sitting next to you.
Oh
he's
my
like,
God.
he's like, I don't really know what calling means. I mean, is that, well, that's like these things that, and he like
That's
has
this
your,
thing.
he
Yeah.
has your phone, and he's like, it's like that's what these were, right? This is
Yeah.
the base.
Yeah, it's like a long distance communication device.
Oh, like a sending stone.
Yeah.
Got it.
I don't know what a
Got it.
sending stone is.
It's like a cell phone,
Oh, cool. Yeah.
like you just said. Yeah, long distance communication. What's up?
Would have been kind of nice to know that, like, your brother was in on it the whole time.
I did tell you that. You found that out through me.
Well, you said that he was imprisoned in the basement.
Oh, him. Oh, well, yeah. Okay, so I thought, like, maybe, you know, because, like, I don't know everything. I know a lot of things, but I don't know everything. But I thought maybe, like, he might, like, want to help you all, you know, because he kind of did a lot of good when he was in the Maw. You know, he bonded with those people and stuff. So
Good
I thought,
for
like,
him.
you know,
That's
he might
nice.
have turned a corner, maybe. You know.
Uh-huh.
And it was really the only way to get you out of there safely before my mom, you know, cut you to ribbons.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because he was the only way that could teleport you away that fast. So I kind of made a
Do
snap.
you want to be found?
Me?
Yeah. Do you
Hmm.
want to go back? Or are you, like, running from an abusive family kind of thing right now?
More so like I'm running from me, if that makes sense. Like that's why I'm hiding in your head. Yeah.
From your other half.
Yes. Yeah.
Why hasn't he gone back
He hasn't what?
to your family that's been tearing apart worlds looking for you? Both of you?
He has his
Do
own.
you know what your brother thinks? Sorry, I have a lot of questions.
That's okay. That's all right.
And by your brother, I mean the patron. Do you know what the patron's up to?
I don't know everything because we're kind of two separate parts, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know everything. I just know that he He has some chip on his shoulder about my dad and this world, and he's been playing my dad for some end. I don't know what that end is, but yeah. So I've kind of just been hanging out because I'm not nearly as strong as my brother or my sister or my dad. And my mom. So I figured like if I could help y'all, that might be like my best shot at actually assisting, because I'm not much of a fighter. I'm a storyteller.
Yeah. Okay. So you can't go back. You don't want to.
To them?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I don't know what would happen if I step back onto the material plane.
Are you dead?
No, I'm not dead. I just
Oh.
removed myself from the material plane so that my brother couldn't get to me.
The patron.
Yeah.
Brother.
Yeah.
But like, how did you guys like in the first place?
Remember, after we got into that argument with our friend, we kind of got split when he took us away.
That's right.
Something
That's
happened
right.
there. Yeah.
It's been a
There's
lot.
a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of information. I understand. It's stressful. And I'm sorry if it means anything. If I could have stopped my dad from bringing you all here, I would have.
Thanks. It's nice to have like someone say it, you know?
Oh, it sucks. 100%.
Yeah, it really sucks. Yeah.
I mean, you have like you got like cool powers and stuff, so that's kind of neat, kind of
Yeah.
a win. But
yeah, I'm not turning into a god, am I? We've done this before. You know, you'll tell me.
He just kind of smiles. He just goes like just awkward, like holding his teeth together. Oh wow, it is late. You should sleep. You got a big day tomorrow, and I mean it.
Okay. Do you want me to tell anything to like the brother in the other room? Because he's gonna ask about you tomorrow.
Tell him I'm sorry too.
Okay.
That I wasn't there to protect him from my dad and my mom. But I'm here. You just call. I won't hide anymore. I promise.
You're not gonna be like in danger because you're not hiding, are you?
Oh, yeah, but like the danger's gonna be here tomorrow morning. So like, what?
Okay.
I thought they made it really clear when they were so intense downstairs.
No,
they're on their way. You know.
I just thought your mom and your dad were coming tomorrow, but they can't see you. They don't know that you're here, right?
To put it in like perspective, my dad could split worlds. So like, who knows? All right, you know.
Okay. It just would be nice, like, if we also were like up against the patron as well at the same time, you know, like that would be nice to know.
Do you want him to show up? It might help, honestly. Might be a good distraction for y'all. Really risky, incredibly risky. But you know, could at least buy you some time to make your own damn decision on what you want to do.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, he probably wants to confront your dad at some point anyway. You know,
he does have
I'm
a flair for the dramatic. So
yeah, I just remembered I'm a guest in someone's house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to wreck their little house.
We'll just fight farther down the mountain.
Can I like call you back? I'll text you. I'll text you.
I'm literally gonna just kind of shimmer away, but I'm always here. So
Yeah, oh yeah, that's so not creepy.
Do you want me here or not?
Well, yes, but like whatever. I'm just gonna try not to think about it.
And like he puts a hand on your shoulder and he goes, "You can do this."
Do I feel his hand on my shoulder?
Yeah. He goes, I know it's a lot, but you can do this.
Okay.
Okay. And he just vanishes away.
She just kind of leans back and kind of like slinks down against the side of the bed and contemplates her life choices.
The morning comes. And Craig, did you sleep at all?
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
Okay.
Craig was out pretty late, doing some things, but it was probably like early in the morning, like 3 in the morning. I would have come back to get some sleep, and also, but before getting in bed, set out the clothes for tomorrow for both Bronwyn and I, as I normally do. Just kind of set out so everything's set and ready. We just have to wake up and be ready.
I was just double checking if you actually slept. But so who is the first in the house awake? Craig. Okay. Craig and Val.
Yeah. I'm very soon, but yeah.
Yeah. So Craig and Val, you are the first to wake up in the morning. What do you do?
When you see Craig is probably already in the kitchen. He is wearing a jet black suit that is just perfectly put together. Like, looks like he just walked out of a magazine, like an Earth magazine. Just dapper as all hell. Looks great. Little top buttons undone, but he's got the tie on. He looks very professional. One might even say very sexy.
The Kriz is back.
The christening
is back.
Val.
But the hair's pulled back, so it's out of his face. It's just kind of a half up, but the rest is just flowing down. But he's fixing breakfast.
You see, when you like hear footsteps padding down the stairs and you turn and look, you just see a look of pure panic flash for an instant across Val's face as she's like, and then kind of shakes herself for a second. Morning. It smells good.
Thank you. Good morning to yourself. Forgive me, but I recognize that look. Sit.
And he motions to one of the bar stools that's at like the kitchen island right there. And slides a plate of just, very basic breakfast food, eggs, bacon, some toast.
Val like perches on the edge of it. She's like barely sitting, like barely following through on that directive.
You are lost and confused, and you have voices in your head that tell you what to do.
No, it's more the fact that you're dressed like my dad that is kind of freaking me the fuck out right now.
Well, I hope your father has at least good taste.
Well, black hides the blood, so.
Your father and I have a few things in common. Either way, it was Val, yes?
Yeah.
Val, you and your friends, while you feel like you were pulled out just by chance, by the whim of some evil person, creature, thing, I dare not call it the man. The fact that you are here holds great value to this world. There's a reason that each of you were pulled here. Just like there was a reason I was trapped here.
How long did it take you to figure out yours?
Oh, 400 something odd years.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of time.
No. You have much less. But my reason showed up 75 years ago.
That's so sappy. It's really cute, but it's really sappy.
What can I say? When you've been a god for thousands and thousands of years, only to discover one mortal holds everything in your life, it'll change someone. But if it makes you feel any better, I don't believe your reason for being here is that sappy. I believe the reason for all of you is much more intense.
Yeah.
I promise you this.
And Craig holds out his hand towards you and presents. It's just a very small ice sculpture that doesn't seem to melt, doesn't seem to get affected by the warmth in here. And even when you touch it, it's not freezing. It's cold, but it doesn't freeze like ice. It is just a very simple. It's like a tree. Looks like a little, like a conifer tree. The very common tree in the area that we're in.
Take this simple gift as me saying, we will do everything we can to aid you and your friends and help you survive. And if the fates will it, get back home. Perhaps there'll be some recompense for me. While I can never return to my home, I hope I can get you to yours.
Thanks. We're probably really gonna need it. The narrator says there's like a bunch of people coming up the mountain, so yeah.
Well, eat up. There's plenty of breakfast for everyone. We're all going to need our strength today. If you don't mind me, I will go and check on the rest of our guests here. And I just walk over to the living room where Nico and Atlas are at.
Atlas is just knocked out on the couch. And I think at this point, it's probably when the rest of the guests would start to awake. So you all have, in your own way, come downstairs or are woken up in the living room, and there is breakfast prepared. And I think, does everyone sit at the kitchen island to eat, or?
Nikolai doesn't. He's gonna let, if they said, he's gonna let them all have the table. The little cheering have the table. He's going to just kind of, come to Jesus because he just woke up, but kind of immediately get his bearings. He's going to do two things. Putting up one, he's going to do two things. One, he's going to almost like take out the small little notepad that he has in his jacket. And he just starts to flip through it, and as he does, you can just tell that he's in immense thinking mode. I'm going to use my flash of insight.
Okay.
To investigate a creature, item, or location. Investigating dad. And depending on my role, I get to ask a couple of questions about them.
Okay.
In this moment. And that is, I believe, I guess you tell me what I roll.
So for that, let me see. That is your flash of insight.
He says when you roll a 13 or higher on a check, I get to ask a question. So I'm just.
I would say roll like double insight.
Double insight, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And then while they roll, is there anything else anybody specific wants to do besides from like basically planning and talking? Anything rules wise that you want to do while sitting around the table?
Rhea's gonna stand, but
Okay.
and grab her plate and just kind of like stand near the table, but sneak one of her pieces of bacon to Peter's plate, and then go lean against the door, or lean against the wall.
Is this also an open check or no?
Yeah.
Okay, great. That is a math 16.
Okay. So on a 16, that's a success. So what questions would you like to ask me?
I get asked two questions. Specifically, where is he and what is his intent?
So what you and in the sky, you see what we would know as Earthlings as what looks like an aurora borealis. As the sky has taken on this kind of multicolored, basically like weaving of colors in the sky, like above this mountain. And you can see this aurora borealis is moving up the mountain. So he's on his way.
Yeah.
And what his intentions are answered by the same as the first question. Is that display of strength can only mean bad news. Can only mean your dad is angry.
Yeah. Figured that part. Cool, great. In that same vein, the second part of that, I mean, and as I'm studying, you can see my eyes are fractalized once more. As you can see, I'm kind of in this moment. There's gonna be almost like a flicker or something. You see like some of that magic like physically manifest outside of his face, and then kind of just collide around him. As I'm going to turn that into a divination, I'm gonna use 10 mind points for that. Magic point, whatever they're called.
Okay.
So now I can reroll some dice if I need to on some of my checks.
Okay.
So that's me.
What is everybody else doing around the breakfast table? Peter, Jeane, Val, or Rhea, or Bronwyn?
Munching.
You're just munching?
Well, I mean, everyone's like, we're gonna have to fight to the death today or something. So yeah, I'm gonna like eat. I feel like it's like my last meal, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna munch. Are you kidding me?
Got it. So Peter's just like Goku style, shoveling food in her
I'm
mouth.
savoring it though.
Got it.
Who knows?
It's good
Who
breakfast.
knows what will happen?
I'll say this. Val recognizes what Jeane is doing as he's looking over all the notes they stole from the laboratory.
Mhm.
But he did this a lot during like midterms and finals of the previous semester, where he's literally doing math at the table. He's doing math and science at the table. And he like, you don't know where he got chalk from, but he just has chalk and he's just marking the table absently. It's he's in his own world as he's applying. He like got a flash of genius one day, and he's just like, why am I trying to use the world's rules when the world's rules haven't found a way to do it? Maybe there's something in our space that can do it. And so like he's like the food on his plate, he's like using it to like do equations. Like he's playing with his food but also eating it at the same time. It's a weird like dichotomy. It's a weird cycle as he's talking to himself in equations that don't make sense. And
Val like leans over and like takes a piece of food that's like fallen off of your plate and just like eats it straight off the table. I was like, don't worry, he does this all the time. It's like when he gets in his zone kind of thing.
We weren't able to read those notes because they weren't
in a language you understood.
Yeah, I assume that there's like equations on them that Jeane is dealing with, but like I can read them if I summon my grimoire. I was hoping that you had brought them.
Oh,
I was waiting for you to.
Oh yeah.
I was hoping that they were here. If I summon my grimoire,
let's do it.
Yeah, I can start reading them and see if there's anything that we missed.
Like there's, he's literally just focusing on the parts he can read. So if you just like slide the paper over a little bit, so you're just, you just see his face is. And as he's just doing like work, and he's like in a trance of sorts.
For our guests, what does your grimoire look like when you summon it?
It is a very large book. You know, like in like a fantasy world, when somebody's like, "Here's what a tome looks like." That old ass, like the pages are all rippled, tome. And it's open. It's got like the bookmarks hanging out and stuff like that, and it kind of floats next to me. And I guess in this case I finally get to use like its main thing, which is I can read, write, and speak all languages. So yeah, I guess I'm looking back and forth through the book. I'm sure it's translating what I can't read on the page.
Okay.
Basically I think like the pages appear in my book, like what I'm like the page that's next to me, but I speak English, so I can read it in English now in my grimoire.
Okay. And I'm going to DM you what you discover on the papers while everyone else continues to talk.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Love that.
I talked to the narrator last night. He's fine. Doing his thing. He's here right now somewhere. I can't see him right now. Do we... How fucked are we? Like, should I... Like, he was like, hey, should we, like, have the patron come join in? Should I say yes?
What?
I didn't want to destroy your house. Yeah, apparently, like, because, like, I talked to the narrator in my head. I could just be like, hey, what if the patron showed up today?
So let me get this straight. Because Bronwyn can sense Nico's thoughts, and if Nico has noticed that his dad is almost here.
Remember the headache you had earlier?
Yeah. Bram can tell that Nico's freaking out because his dad is almost here. There's a lot of forces outside. So you can talk to his brother, right? Got that. You would like to summon the other bit here. So we have a massive force of strength And then also another
So the thought was then, hey, distraction, we can just get the fuck out of here. But that's like a big question mark that I figured I shouldn't make that decision on my own. So
Nico looks at Craig. You see, like, there's a moment where he doesn't physically ever show his emotions until it's overwhelming. And for it to get overwhelming, it's like overwhelming to the max. So for a moment he was showing like, what the hell? Then suddenly you can see him pause. He looks over at Craig, remembering the conversation they just had last night. I believe there needs to be a chance to speak, and I can get my father to speak. There needs to be a chance to speak before any actions are taken. If I cannot convince my father, and truthfully I don't believe I will, but I have to try. If I cannot convince my father, then the only way he stops a crusade is to also understand. So actually in this moment, when it comes to it, if you do have a connection to my brother, and through him he can bring the other one here, that might be the best plan. But this won't happen without a fight regardless.
cool. Oh, by the way, he says he's sorry that he couldn't protect you from your parents. That he wasn't there.
To be fair, none of this would happen if he was gone, so it's not that he has to apologize.
He does that. He was apologizing a lot.
I've never met my brother, so that.
Oh. Well.
Yes, I am compartmentalizing a lot of feelings that I've felt since you mentioned his name yesterday. But we don't need to think about that right now. We need to think about the fact that color visualization, that outside, dictates that he is practically around the corner. So make your decisions now.
Cool. Okay. Hey, narrator. At a family reunion. It's happening.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah,
Not yet. Do I come now? Not yet. No.
Well, you're fine. You can hang out.
Well,
You're
as soon as I go like boop, toe on the material plane, it's game on.
Okay. We'll wait on the actual dipping of toes. But like, it's gonna happen. Sounds like, yeah.
Okay.
Again, these three just see that. These three just see you talking to an empty chair.
Yeah, everybody else sees Val just talking to an empty chair. He's also eating breakfast, but there's no food there.
Vomit.
Breakfast is there, but it's not. He goes, okay. Drinks his coffee very nervously, handshaking. But yes, he seems on board.
He's going to look at Craig and Branwyn. Where are your children?
They're a long way from here. They are safe. At least. As safe as our children can be.
I did not mean to disrupt your domestication.
Nico, we've been here for 75 years. We
You're
had a
forgetting-
good run.
I know you're a god, but he's also like an elf. He doesn't. Time is different. Well, still. Well, and he just kind of like looks to the door. I will step out. Let him see me first. You all do what you need to do, but understand that, truthfully, he might not be a magician, an arcanist in the way that I am. He is who he is for a reason. And if my mother's with him too, which she probably is, there's a lot of explaining to do, so prepare yourselves. And he's going to kind of dust himself off. He like looks down for a moment, shakes his hand, starts to like not shake his hand, shakes his head, like flicks his hand 3 times, and then the 3rd time his pink bow tie appears, and he'll put it on. You know, head out. I know how to do my tie. Move.
Sorry. Happens.
And Craig, it would be at this time that the you can hear it. Everyone, I think, could hear it. The first trap goes off as you all hear the rumble of the mountain. Craig, why don't you describe what kind of trap you set up?
To rat?
Basically, it's essentially it's a booby trap where they get close enough, part of the mountain comes down, slowing them down, potentially killing sizable numbers. Obviously, you know, the bigger, the hard hitters aren't going to really get touched, but you know, the grunts, hopefully the majority of them are going down. And there's also the last couple are manually triggered. First one's like a warning.
So you all hear this rumble as the mountain shakes. And what do you all do?
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Val kind of like pulls the other 3 towards her. And is like, what's your weaker stat? Is it like magic defense or defense? Which one's weaker for everyone? I can boost one.
I've got a 9 for defense.
Mine are the same.
Yeah, mine are both 11.
11. Okay.
As he snaps back into reality once the avalanche happens, like his
Okay.
eyes uncloud and they focus up.
For a scene, I can spend up to 3 creatures. I can create a barrier, so I can boost your defense to equal 12 for each of you. So she like reaches out and like puts your hands in the middle, like go team go. And there's a vine tattoo that is like across her hand, and it
You gotta be kidding me right now.
It looks so good, except for she's totally got like stuff across her knuckles. Anyway, but this tattoo like lights up and then like weaves between all of you, in like this like dark kind of like inky energy that just like creates a barrier around all of you before like fading back into invisibility. So your defense is now 12.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, we love a little more defense because it's
Yeah.
don't get.
So you all boosted their defense. Any other preparations you all would like to do?
As they're doing that,
Mm-hmm.
Craig does pull Branwyn aside. Sorry, Sydney. We've had a good time here, I hope.
Few years.
I don't know what will happen today. I trust that. I have no fear that you will manage just fine. I know your strength. I sadly have a bit more. Have a bit more to worry about than the last time we did this. I'll be with your side through the whole thing.
I love you.
Kisses you. Holds you.
What will we tell our children? How will we let them know where we've gone? Assuming our little cabin here doesn't make it.
Sounds like we need to go on a quest of our own then.
Well, at least I have the best adventuring partner one could ask for. Shall we?
Puts out the crook of his arm.
Let's go.
And we head to join the rest.
So the four of you, because the three of them are outside already. So the four of you have just boosted defense. Anything else you want to do inside before you go outside to join the rest?
Yeah, I would activate my elemental weapon.
Okay.
So the switchblade comes out, becomes a flaming sword. Yeah.
Okay.
Val's like gunning for a fight. Like she's like getting everything she can ready.
Okay. Rhea, Peter, Jeane.
Rhea,
No, Ray, go ahead.
no, you go ahead, Peter.
Okay. Nikolai?
I would say he's probably at the door. He's not completely out. I just kind of turned his head. Yes.
What was that the question that you wanted answered from earlier? I don't know if you still had the question, but you know, when the grimoire goes away, that's when I get to ask the question, and I might have to do that at some point. So
Honestly, I don't think I have a question that could be answered right now. If my brothers, plural, are to show up, then you can save that question for something else. I will get my answers then.
okay, all right, yeah, that sounds good. I'll let you know when I'm just missing it, so you can tell me. And be like really careful when you tell me the question, because Godman is kind of an asshole. And he's like, he'll like trick his way out of answering. So, you know, think of all the little loopholes, because he will, you know, he'll get you.
That is good to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good luck out there. I can imagine it's going to be hard for you.
It is going to be something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I apologize that you have to deal with it as well.
Oh, it's like fine. We all have to deal with it together, I guess. You don't have to do it alone, because we're all going to be here. It's not just your fight; it's all of our fight now. So, you know, we'll do it the best we can.
You remind me of someone I once knew. Someone just as optimistic.
I wouldn't. I don't feel optimistic. I just don't want you to think that, like, you know, it's just you fighting. I don't know. Just trying to stay positive for the group, I guess. Me, I've got like one spell that does damage. I don't know. The last time that we all fought something, I jumped out a window and I ran because I didn't think there was any other way I was going to make it. I haven't even killed anything here. So, I wouldn't say optimistic. I'd say like positive.
Whatever the energy is, I believe it is appreciated. I'm going to like start swirling my hand, and as I do, what seems to be like a vial appears, and it's like bluish in nature, I think, actually. Bluish, like a light blue. This is a metaphysical piece of that friend.
Oh.
Take a drink. It'll help you.
What? Like, like blood?
No.
Or...
No.
Oh.
Just
okay.
The essence of their mentality.
This is like important. I don't want to take it if it's important to you.
No, it is not. Well, it is, but it is not. Drink.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it. I take a sip. I'd assume you don't mean the whole vial.
Just
so I drink like, yeah, I just take a little.
Is that?
Hold on.
Yeah, answer my DM.
If somebody
Answer
orders
my
Peter to do
DM
it,
is a fucking statement for GM to say to somebody.
Okay.
It was, yeah. But do what you need to do. Do you drink it?
Yeah. Because you told me to, and you're like really serious.
Well, still, mine would listen. I said flavoring, and the GM just ran with it. I'm casting acceleration on you. What that means is you get to take an extra action on your turn twice. You can only do it once per turn, but for the next 2 turns, essentially, when you do a thing, you can do an extra thing on top of that to use some extra oomph. Once you do that, the spell ends. But you've been imbued with someone's tenacity.
All right. Thank you.
But I'm scared about what Alec is doing. So, with that being said, I also flick my hand and that's a totally different vial, and I chug that as I'm using some inventory points to get an elixir and get some MP.
Yeah, we're doing
me.
shots.
That's me. All right, I look back.
Jeane or Rhea, are you doing anything specific?
I'm just gonna say to the group before we all leave, Alec, did my doppelganger also have horns and a tail, or was it created before I attained said tail?
It did not have the horns and the tail.
Gorgeous. So I'll gather the group, and I'll say, I want to make it super clear, I'm fighting for you guys. I'll say this after I know the doctor has left and they're outside and it's just us. I'm sure these people are great, but they've clearly been doing this longer than we have, and I don't think it would not behoove us to put ourselves in harm's way for them. I don't think.
Sounds like they're mixed up in this shit as much as we are. They've got history. We've got prophecy. Right? We're entangled at this point. And if we can help, we should. we shouldn't just leave them high and dry. I mean,
Oh, yes, but I mean, I want us to get out of this. Is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I want to get the hell out of here too. If push comes to shove, I don't know how we're gonna do that, but we can figure it out because we're together. That's what we've been together since the start of this thing. We're gonna get out. We're gonna get out of here together. We're gonna fight together. We're gonna laugh and have fun together. It's the whole thing. And then I pull out my gun.
We're gonna laugh, have fun together.
Have fun together. First, we're gonna live. We're gonna live. We got this.
If you see another one of me out there, the real one, and I'll knock on my horns. The real one is the one with these.
How do you feel about us taking care of that one if it happens?
I want to take that bitch on.
Okay.
Leave it to me.
Okay. Battle of the Self. I respect it.
Cool. Yeah.
You see Atlas just kind of clear his throat in the corner.
Oh, hey, buddy. Yeah.
Hey, dude,
hi.
listen.
He's like, I don't got much weapons or nothing, and he like rips his sleeves off and then like rips them into straps and then like ties them around his knuckles. He's like, but I do know how to fight, so I will do my best to keep y'all safe.
As a monk main, I respect that. Christian respects that. As a monk main, much respect.
Yeah.
Maybe they've got some spare weapons laying around here somewhere. They seem like they were in the trenches at some point.
Or do you use your hands?
Oh no, I could use these to break a building if I needed to. So
work.
I mean, we did fight you, and that was tough. So
right.
Yeah.
And that really wasn't even me. It was just kind of mine.
You.
I got this.
This is like the real you. About to say something crazy.
Right.
Hey, respect. Love it.
Yeah,
Love the energy.
I got y'all's back. I'm gonna leave because you were having a real private conversation, and I didn't know the right time to interject to be like, hello. But I'm gonna go outside and join the rest of the team, and I'll see you out there. And Atlas just kind of makes his way out of the room
so much.
And you just hear Craig yell from outside, "What did you do to my shirt?"
I needed hand wraps. I needed to protect my knuckles. All right.
I have those here.
You're a god. All right. The door closes.
I think we all outside.
Have the four joined? Have you?
I think before because you read the notes. And
yeah,
I know you read the notes. Jeane just goes. I could only see the equations and stuff, but I know you were looking at it. Anything catch your eye specifically that might help me, or what?
I mean, I guess it's kind of stuff that we already knew almost, like kind of what our powers are.
Mm-hmm.
But it does say like that our god Jeane was awakened.
That's new. That
would seem a little bit weird.
That's a new one. Okay.
Our god Jeane's awakened, and we all have different god Jeane types. It doesn't say on Val's if your god Jeane was awakened though. I don't know. I don't want you to feel left out. It does say for you power level unknown, so maybe it's better than God.
Val just turns and locks eyes with the narrator across the room. As she's just like, I fucking knew it.
It's got to be some reveals. I can't just like do everything.
But Rhea's like Tiamat. I don't.
What's
I mean, like I have like
Tiamat.
What?
Yeah.
TMI, like the abbreviation?
No,
like they know too much about me.
That's too good.
No, like TIAMAT.
Oh,
Tiamat. Yeah.
Oh.
And
I
Jeane
want you
is
to know that's genius. That's fucking great.
Yeah, Jeane's is Deuces Mechanus.
Sure.
Too mechanical.
is how I've read it. Which sounds about
I
right.
love this. This
Oh.
is good.
I'm not
I
even
think
gonna
you're
correct.
right.
I'm not even gonna
I
correct.
don't even want to
You're
correct.
right.
I'm not gonna correct. I'm just
I
gonna
don't
let it, I'm
want
gonna let it
to
ride.
say. Gina
Right?
doesn't say
Is
shit.
that wrong?
Gina's letting that rock because that's fucking fantastic.
What's
You're
yours?
too mine's Ouroboros.
Like the snake.
Oh, like
Which
beginning. Yeah.
that's like a bad
I mean,
it's a
the
bad
beginning-
omen though.
It's
yeah,
beginning and
it's-
end. That's
yeah.
like it's not bad necessarily. I don't
This is
think, right?
the natural order. of
Ugh.
things.
Mm.
Teams, huh?
Sure, it'd be
Yeah, but
so
yours is,
awesome
like,
to know what any of this means.
Yeah, but otherwise it just talks about like what powers we have, which we kind of already know.
That's another thing to learn
wait,
about, I guess.
Rhea's is kind of upsetting. Sorry.
What?
Rhea.
Well,
What do you
Uh,
mean? Why? What do you mean?
What do you
Why aren't you telling me, Peter?
Oh, sorry. Well, it's like it just says demonstrates great rage, which makes sense for like you like fight and stuff. But after that, it says may not survive transformation if control is not taught.
What transformation?
Like I think the god thing.
The god thing.
So like when you turn into a god, if you don't control the rage, it's kind of the vibe I'm getting.
Man, I hope they survive this fight so we can ask them all about this shit.
Yeah, oh boy. Okay.
And
All right,
under
let's help
Val-
him. We gotta help him out. We definitely gotta help him out.
So I haven't been activated.
You haven't been awakened or active. We can roll with activated if you want. I kind of like that.
I couldn't remember the word. There's kind of a lot going on right now.
It says that there's also like a connection confirmed. So like you don't have the Jeane awakened, but there's like a connection confirmed.
To what?
You know how like your name is similar to like a different name here?
Yeah.
Well, there's a name that seems similar to Rhea's name to me, and it's Rayzana. Multiversal Rayzana connection confirmed. So to me, I'm like, oh, is that like Rhea? Like, do you guys like have a connection here that's like important?
Val blushes.
Do we have a connection that's important? Well, yes, but like,
I mean,
wait.
It's like over the multiverses, I guess.
Does anybody else have names that like clocks with something else?
No one else has a name under theirs. It's just vowels.
Why?
Listen, we think we have a good amount of answers. A shitload of questions. Just
Yeah,
I think this is when the second trap goes off and we hear.
Oh God!
right.
Okay.
Yeah, we should get out.
Table this. Yeah. Let's.
Oh yeah. Let's table this until we can process. Maybe we ask them on the battlefield if it happens.
Oh, that's true. We could all like have tea or something.
If there's like a lull in the battle, we can like ask them, "Hey, what the fuck is up with this?" And then we could. We should get out there though.
Let's go.
So the seven of you are all now standing in the snow.
Eight,
including Atlas.
Yes, don't you
including
forget
Atlas.
my boy.
Atlas is like, I'm here.
9 if you count the narrator too.
9 if you count the narrator. I am also here. As you're all standing out in the snow, as the mountain rumbles once again, the second trap was another avalanche, correct, Craig? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. As another avalanche goes off, and then cresting over the hill, you see 6 figures walking over the hill. As the Aurora Borealis is now basically over the hut. As you see a tall blonde figure, very familiar, in his like suit that you always see him in, his vest, his dress shirt. You don't see any equipment on him, nothing. He's just walking. You see Monroe next to Valerian walking. You see a starkly familiar face. Except she is now clad in this black and red armor, as you see Rhea's clone dragging this axe through the snow alongside. You see a white dragonborn walking alongside.
I forgot it wasn't muted. I'm sorry.
Who seems to just kind of be cracking his neck from side to side. And then you see two figures you do not recognize. One of them being this very almost gaunt-looking, pale figure with very pointed ears and basically slick-back white hair. Basically, like kind of it's like slicked back, but then it's long and drapes over the shoulders. They are all in black. You see a rapier on their hip. And then the last figure you see, again, I don't think it's anybody. I have to think. I don't think it's anyone recognizes. But you see this almost mechanical-like figure that's kind of bigger than the rest of them. It's large and massive, and it's got this almost humanoid kind of appearance. It's got this almost like brass-like body, and you see like this huge red gem basically over where a normal like organic person's heart would be, as you see just kind of like pumping, and you see they have these large gauntlets on their fists as these 6 figures are approaching the rest of you. And Valerian, like the group, Valerian kind of holds his hand as the group kind of like stops, kind of like leaving some distance between the group of you. And he takes a step forward and he goes, "Well, I appreciate you, Nikolai, bringing them all into one location. But would you mind explaining yourself?"
There's fear is the wrong word. There's definitely like a sense of worry. But you see him just kind of like put his hands behind his back. Father, originally it was my intention to, well, once I saw what was going on, I needed answers, so I whisked them away in order to understand why they intended to break me out of the sigil that I put myself into. But a lot has happened in the last 12 hours or so. I ask you have an open mind. His eyes flick to his mom for a second before going back to him. Because things have changed in a drastic way.
Val, can she reach out and hold the narrator's hand next to her as this is going on?
You see he kind of like almost like shudders for a second at the touch, but realizes it and then grips your hand back.
We are all under the understanding that Valorant is gone, right?
Yes, this is known. Why do you ask such stupid questions?
Because I just found out he's not.
And all of you blink and Valerian is in front of Nikolai. He's closed the distance in a fraction of a second. Explain yourself.
I just found out that he is split into 2 and has been here the entire time. One is hiding from you. One has been tricking you.
And who told you this?
It wasn't told, it was seen.
And
I looked into it myself.
Where are these parts of your brother?
He looks directly at Val.
Val is already looking at the narrator.
He's like pale as he like sees his dad and sees his mom. And you can feel he's kind of shaking just a bit. I don't know about this. I don't know if we. I don't know if I or if And he's just kind of stumbling over his words.
Do you want them to see you?
I think we might need it. As anybody who's watching the interaction between Nikolai and Valerian, you can see Valerian's like fists tightening. You can like sense the malice that is coming from him. He's like, I don't know if the explanation is working.
I'll hold your hand the whole time, I promise.
He just says, "Oh, sorry."
Nikolai, and anyone who has who consider themselves like high insight, either magical or normal insight, can roll 2 insight for me.
I'm using my lucky number to turn this into a 7. That's gonna be 15
21.
for me.
21.
My insight goes to 12 when I have my grimoire out.
Damn.
Yeah.
I love
Damn.
it. I got a 14.
14.
Yep.
Okay. What was that, Craig?
Just a 12.
12. Okay. So anyone who rolled I would say 12 or higher, and not through magic, if you're like just kind of like trying to read the situation like body language wise, you can see that this information isn't landing on Valerian. Anyone else who is using kind of more magical insight, you can almost see Valerian's mind struggling with this truth, like the fact like that a fact has been changed for him. Very similar that the 4 of you have been dealing with, that facts were changed, memories were changed. You can see Valerian's mind is literally not able to grasp this information right now, as if somebody has influenced his mind.
And he just says really quickly, "Father, you know what I am. I am analytical to a T. I did not believe it until I saw it. And it's hard for me to believe. I am only stopping this because this is true."
Then I must run my own tests, and for that, the subjects must be brought back to the lab.
Or, he looks back at Val, "You need to act."
Gives the narrator's hand a squeeze. It's now or never.
And you see he like takes a step forward, and that's when all of you would see the narrator appear. As you see this, basically, you see he bears a very striking resemblance to both Valerian Monroe and Dr. Nikolai, where he's got like kind of the tanner skin, the brown, like kind of almost like brown messy hair. You know, it's not as pretty as he was presenting himself in your mind. And he's got kind of like a long, like black coat on, and he's got a book in his hand, and he just goes, "Hey, Dad." And the Aurora Borealis above you shifts to almost this roiling red, as Valerian has this look of shock on his face. And Monroe's face is flabbergasted. You can see tears beginning to form in her eyes. What are the rest of you doing while this is happening?
Looking at everyone else to see if anyone's acting other than or about to do something untowards this this reunion.
You see Rhea, or Alter Rhea, and Ivar have begun to kind of walk to the sides.
I was about to say, my eyes are locked the fuck on Rhea, and if she's gonna move, I'm just gonna exactly mirror her movements.
Yeah, you see they're kind of like where they were in a line before facing y'all's line. These two have begun to kind of fan out to the sides to make it more of like a crescent.
I'm following Rhea's action and doing the same with our dear other friend as they separate.
Yeah.
Good. You have me with you.
Work.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
Peter or Craig, what are you doing?
I was going to ask if I could insight as well on the other two.
Oh yeah.
The elf and the humanoid.
Yeah. The robotic figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go. So go ahead and roll insight for them. And then Craig, what are you doing?
Waiting.
Okay.
I'm
This
just
is-
following Ivar, and I'm staying near to Bronwyn.
Okay.
But I'm waiting until someone makes a move. If someone does something out of place,
Got it.
it's on site.
I will say I do have high speed, so at the start of a conflict, I may spend points to perform a free attack.
Got it.
So it's a quick draw, basically.
All right. Peter, what'd you roll for insight?
I got a 7.
I got a 7. They look like they're kind of standing near Monroe, almost like guards.
Okay.
They're standing like flanking, and your dad almost like pushes past you, Nikolai, like you're not even there. And begins to walk towards the narrator, who takes a step back towards Val, like gripping your hand.
And just from my understanding,
yeah,
he's not like shunning me. He just needs to get to.
No, it's just like he's seen someone he hasn't seen.
Yeah.
Years and years and years and years, and so he like pushes past you.
Yeah. I'm just gonna like step back a little bit and just kind of look at my mom, because my mom's my tether. And I'm like, mi madre, help!
Her eyes are welled with tears, and she just looks too stunned to speak. And as Valerian says, Valerie, you hear another voice.
Oh no!
And it's behind the group of you, as there is a figure sitting on the porch who bears a striking resemblance to the narrator.
Oof.
Except his hair is like pure white. His eyes are a blood red. He wears a very similar black coat, but the coat is covered in chains. And he's sitting there and goes, "Look at this family reunion. Isn't this nice? Isn't this great? I've been waiting for this for a long time. Thank you, Val. Thank you so much for convincing him to finally step out of hiding. He's such a wimp. I appreciate it, but finally I found him. We can kick this thing off finally. Well." And he slaps his thighs and he stands up and he goes, "You guys brought friends. I had to bring my own friends also." And you begin to see these red sigils lighting up around the group of you, as you see these these red-skinned horned figures begin to pull themselves out of the ground. There is about a dozen of them surrounding you all, as Ivar begins to face off against his old people and some new enemies. Valerian, looking flabbergasted at the two parts of his son, all of you kind of standing in this kind of chaos around you, the narrator grabbing Val's hand, now even more mortified than he was before, all of this chaos swirling around you. We kind of zoom in a little bit on each one of the four, as the stress of the situation, the amount of power in the situation, we just hear what sounds like a lock being undone come from each one of you. And I think that's a good place to stop for tonight. We will pick back up with this lovely Mysteries of the Maw and Echoes of Legacy crossover with a banger of a combat next time. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. I'm gonna go around really quick and allow my folks to say goodbye. So I've been AlecTheBard, your Gamemaster, and I'm going to pass it off to Steph.
That's me. I'm Steph. Equinoxdice pretty much everywhere. I play Val. Sydney, take it away.
My name is Sydney. I play Branwyn. This has been great. You're all lovely. You can find me online at Sydney Rubino or at Sydney of Hightower. Thank you so much for, I don't know, trauma bonding. Yep, there we go. Hallie?
Haley.
Damn it!
You're all good. You've been calling me Peter for the last 3-4 hours. My name is Haley. I'm HailieRosie on pretty much everything, and I play Peter. And I'll pass it to Luke.
Hi, I'm Luke. I have been your guest, Craig Reka. You can find me Misty Mountain Legends and or _links on the internet. Christian.
Hi, everybody. My name is Christian, aka AFluffyGoomba, on all the socials, mainly on TikTok and Twitch, where you can see me streaming a bunch of games with a bunch of wonderful people. I'm also on a bunch of TTRPG streams, and I teach people how to play TTRPGs. It's kind of my job. Stuff.
Steph went already.
I looked at my list. I looked at my list, and I was like, "Shit," because I knew I didn't want to get popcorn. And fuck, I was like, there you go.
Hello, my name is Betty. I'm Who.The.Lovely on TikTok and Instagram. And this was so much fun. I can't wait to survive the combat. Yay! Now to the birthday badass themselves, Omega.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Muted.
Fuck nuggets. Hi, my name is Omega Jones, also known as Critical Bard, and I am suffering inside the family reunion I was not expecting, but I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting us back to relive our trauma. Back to you, son.
Aha! All right, my lovely friends. Thank you so much for being here. We will see you all next time. Have a great night. Bye.